Hello and welcome to the Tesla Life number 163. What are we, the 26th of August? Oh my gosh. That means summer's almost over. I cannot believe it went by that quick. But let's introduce the panel before we go down that road too far. Mr. Casey Green joins us from the DC area. How are you today, sir?
Quite well. It was better weather than Texas.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Absolutely. Also joining us.
In the way of that thing. Get out. They said unsurvivable.
Yeah,
I've never seen that in the weather before.
Unsurvivable surge coming your way. That means one thing, and that means get out yesterday.
The weather people and some of the first responders have left already. You never see the weather people. They're always out there measuring stuff. If they leave, you better be right behind them.
Man. Also joining us per regular is Mr. Patrick Connor, joins us from the West Coast. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Hello and hi to everyone out there living the Tesla life. Hey, you know how every week I say we're here trying to bring you a future that's free from fossil fuels? Well, one little thing just happened. Exxon has been kicked out of the Dow Jones. And that's just one little step toward becoming fossil fuel free. I tripped on it. Yeah.
It does lead us to a future free from fossil fuels.
That's right. Yes. And I'm happy to see them go from that. And let's get them out of the S&P 500 next. Let's make them irrelevant. Let's move on to some better way to fuel our transportation and economy and everything else involved.
We'll see if they can't figure out how to make hydrogen profitable and sustainable before they lose the next one.
Right. Yeah.
Hydrogen's always about 6 years away. It's just not quite ever within grasp.
Right.
For most of my life, it's been 20 years away. And same
I do want to start off the program with letting people know that, hey, we've started to grow our subscribers again here on YouTube. And if anyone's noticed lately, we are near a milestone. Couldn't get any nearer, I guess. We're at 2,999. Looking for one to make an even 3,000. So if you're out there watching today and you haven't subscribed yet, please press that subscribe button and you will join the ranks that we have.
So, yeah, we can say I love you 3,000.
There you go. And with that, let's get into the news, which, of course, there's never a lack of here in the world of Tesla. And the first story that we have is, it's, again, people wondered, is Elon joking or is Elon serious? And to be honest, we really don't know. We're just kind of experiencing it like everybody else. We sit back, we see it. The latest prompt from Elon, which was questionable, was about his interest in what they call snake jazz or Polynesian elevator music. So Elon had indicated that he would like that to come out of the external speaker on the Teslas. Of course, the ones with the speakers that have been put in place for that requirement by the U.S. government that you have to play some sort of a sound to alert people when you're under, I believe it's 18 miles an hour, or is it 16? I forget. But just that low speed, there's supposed to be a noise playing out of any electric car, including Teslas. So now, is this Elon just kind of snubbing his nose at the requirement and saying, let's just play some crazy music? Or is this just Elon being Elon, as we sometimes see him?
So I heard, well, first off, I don't know what Polynesian elevator music sounds like. Snake jazz. But the speculation was that this was a coded message that SNP, and as a treble clef, S&P 500, snake jazz, and Polynesian elevator music. I don't know that he would risk that, given his previous run-ins, but it's a theory.
It is a theory, yeah.
But it does also sound better than the Jetsons noise the thing makes going in forwards. I don't mind the reverse noise.
I was really looking forward to the coconut clap which of course was indicated that with his love of Monty Python, that there was going to be some sort of a coconut gallop. Exactly. and Patrick looks like he would enjoy it too. So it would certainly be fun to have. But yeah, this elevator music thing kind of came out of left field for me.
So I think it was at 18.6 or 18.2 miles an hour. It would be interesting, and maybe all the noise pollution would get them to remove this insane requirement. I understand that it's supposed to protect the blind, but there are quieter fossil cars out there, and they are not getting the same scrutiny. And I understand that it costs a little bit extra time to train the seeing eye dogs, but it's probably better because there will still be a significant number of cars out there that don't make enough noise below the tire crunching noise sound. So you can hear an inverter, you can hear the tires, whatever it takes. Because as long as Bentley and Rolls don't have to put noisemakers on their cars, you're missing out.
Yeah, so it shouldn't have been just a requirement for EVs. It should have been a requirement for all cars below a certain noise threshold.
It's not even a requirement
at those speeds. Yeah, especially
does it.
Right. A hybrid could be in electric mode at low speed. In fact, that's when they're most likely to be in electric mode. So, yeah, it seems ridiculous to say, oh, this applies to EVs, because if the real point is to keep the visually impaired safe, well, then they have to worry about all cars that they can't hear.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, well, we'll see, I guess, as this goes along. I certainly like the idea of multiple noises that maybe the driver could pick. And certainly the Tesla software is built in a way that would most likely be easily obtainable with what Tesla has in their toolkit of software. But we will have to see. I got the fingers crossed for the coconuts. That would be first on my list. But
currently, the regs are written such that there can be multiple sounds, but they are not user uploadable. So you can't put your own sound in there. Like some people suggest they might upload some silence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Others might put up some stuff that could be the stuff that would actually make them more quickly remove the requirements, just because they're blaring it through the public.
Yeah.
But
death metal at 11.
Death metal, advertisements, profanity, odd sounds.
Exactly. Yeah, the sounds of the Tesla seats in certain ways. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
It's already got fart mode. Now we can make it external.
Exactly. Yeah. Certain decibel. Exactly. Yes. Well, our next story brings us to the world of investing and I guess the Mad Money Show. Patrick, what have we got on that?
Yeah, Jim Cramer has recently had a change of heart, and he detailed how he came to that conclusion and the people in his life that showed him the light and gave him his epiphany. And he did call it a religious conversion, which is pretty funny. So anybody who's been following him, he's been throwing barbs at the company, at Tesla, for years, and tweeting things at Elon. So how did this conversion happen? Well, his daughter bought one, and she drove it from around here in Oregon down to LA and met him in California and was telling him about how great the experience was, how she's been driving for a number of years and just never cared about cars. And this made her fall in love with cars and become a Tesla enthusiast. And we've all gone through that kind of Tesla makes driving fun. And it's why there's this podcast. It's why there's always news about it. It's why there's so many different people following the company. You just don't have that joy of driving with anything else like you do with Tesla. So there was that. And then his wife, who is into cars, she drove one and said, "This is it. This is a huge change. This company is going to change the world. You have to get behind this." They don't have one yet, but she certainly loved it and endorsed it. And then another friend of his, he was riding with him in his Tesla, and Jim was going through, oh, they have this financial problem, that financial problem. And the guy said, look, they can raise $2 billion like that. And whatever problem you think they have, they'll be able to work through it, given the amount of capital that's at their disposal. And so when he's like, okay, they've got Apple-like devotion from their fans, the people love their products, they're making a great product, they have access to the money they need to make sure they can continue to grow, that was enough for him to say, I've been wrong. Sure, they have problems, but they're going to work them out. And he started buying in his portfolio the company. And he said that it's the best decision that he's made this year. And if you look at how the stock has grown this year, its low was somewhere in the mid 400s, and now it's over 2100. Well, yeah, if your goal is to make money, that's the kind of stock you want to buy. And that's what he is. He's he's a trader. So good job, and I'm glad that he's finally seen the light, and one less bear out there.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was, like you said, it's his family that really got the ball rolling. Is his daughter, his wife, that started him down that road to investigate some more, or put some doubts in his mind as to why he was rating the company and the way he was rating the company previously. So kudos to them being able to change this bear into a bull. Really is what happened.
Yeah, very much so.
Very good. Well, and of course, we don't give stock advice on this show. So if you're listening to guys on the internet and you're taking stock advice from them, give your head a shake. Don't do that. Talk to somebody that is capable of actually doing money investing, not us. So, or anybody that's just a talking head on an internet show. Next, we've got a little story about the new possible windshield wiper. Now, this has come up before. We've talked about a new patent that Tesla put out where it's basically a single arm wiper that somehow protrudes from the car and will just wipe back and forth in one motion to clean the windshield. And there was a story indicating, is the CyberTruck the car that is going to take this new way of wiping a window and implement it for the first time? And of course, this is just speculation. Nobody really knows. But what people are saying is that with the way that the CyberTruck is set up and the good amount of room it's going to have under the front of the car, that there's ample room to set up something new. There's ample room to set up a single wiper arm assembly slash motor slash whatever is required to make this thing work, because we really don't know. The drawings and the patent are pretty basic. It's basically one arm that covers the length of the windshield, and it's set in the middle of the windshield. Whether or not it wipes back and forth or quickly or how fast or all that is completely, we don't know. But they were saying that maybe the Cybertruck will be the vehicle that will put this new patent to practice. And it, again, with so many other groundbreaking features that the Cybertruck has, I wouldn't be surprised at all. It would certainly fit on this vehicle. And it would probably look pretty good based on this futuristic squared type vehicle. But I guess we'll have to see. It's something that would be interesting to see on the new vehicle, but we don't know. But hopefully we'll be able to see this design in action.
It doesn't seem that far-fetched. I mean, Mercedes for a couple of years now has had several vehicles with a single wiper blade. They pivot rather than slide or whatever's going on here. I think what would truly be radical would be if the laser the laser windshield cleaner assembly gets deployed on this vehicle. That would be.
Now, how would a laser? How would a laser?
They've got a patent for that too.
Yeah, but just thinking of how a laser cleaner is actually going to work is mind-boggling. Man, you do not want it to be able to calibration at all.
Yeah, give me great calibration.
Oh man. So yeah, may as well put it on this one as well. May as well go for broke with two patents.
It makes lasers come off of the single wiper arm while it stands still in the middle.
There you go. Well, they may or may not actually do this, but the point is that they're innovating in ways that other car companies are just not even thinking about. And with the big flat windshield on the Cybertruck, that gives them opportunities to do things in ways that haven't been done before. So we'll see if this one pans out or not, but it's just cool that they're really trying to not be held down by history.
Yeah, and it looks like this one would do enough improvement on that Mercedes concept to, well, not really concept, that Mercedes unit to make it worth trying out. And it's a lot less flapping around going on if you do it this way.
Yeah, because of course the other vehicles that are out there that we believe will be coming out certainly is the Semi, and of course the Roadster. Some more opportunities as to whether or not they want to try out a single blade wiper. But
The Semi prototypes had traditional truck wipers on them when we saw them last, right?
yeah, one on each side of the window. So
And then with the articulated, so they kind of like a school bus or city bus.
yeah. So it's it'll be interesting to see if that makes its debut anytime in the next year. Our next story is this is interesting. This is about Tesla dating. Apparently, an app producer thought that the only person that someone that owns a Tesla would be able to connect with is someone else that would like to hear about Tesla 24/7 as the owner does. And of course, that would only be another Tesla owner. So this particular app is being put together currently, and it is going to be a dating site with people that have Teslas that you can connect to others that have a Tesla and talk each other's ear off. And of course, that's a match made in heaven for many of us Tesla owners, because our significant others in a lot of cases don't want to hear any more about Tesla, but yet we keep going. So this might be a match made in heaven, but it remains to be seen that, of course, if this is viable or not. But this particular app producer is going down the line of creating this matching service, and it's not available yet. You'll see a note in our in the notes area where you can click on a link and go read about it some more. And actually, I guess there's a number of people that have even pre-signed up for the application. So that will be available to you as well. But yeah, we'll have to see when it rolls out, how much fanfare it gets, and if a lot of people are using it.
I can see it being a little useful, depending on if you can set your level of fanaticism.
Yeah, there should be a level. Yeah,
hey, I only want people who drive Teslas, or hey, I'm a musketeer. You need to be a musketeer as well. I don't know, if I were in that arena, I think it'd be kind of cool to say, hey, find me somebody who also already has a Tesla and will never drive gas again. That would be fun. Yeah.
Oh
Definitely.
man,
Is it called Tesla?
of course.
What
is
they
it?
say?
I don't know what it's called.
It's called Tesla dating.
Oh, Tesla.
Yeah.
It's such a better name.
Yeah.
There you go.
They should
If
call
you
it
want to start
romance
your
mode.
own
IRL.
romance mode.
Romance mode. That is good. That is good. That might be the show title, Casey. That might work out very well.
Romance mode IRL.
But yeah, to each their own. It'll be interesting to see if it gets picked up, if people are using it in great numbers or not. But check out the link if you have interest and get on that pre-registration list. I'm sure you'll want to. If you haven't already, please go to subscribe to our service. Give us a little thumbs up at this point in the show. That helps us get in front of eyes of new people on YouTube. And you can also follow us on our Twitter feed at the Tesla Life and our Facebook page, the Tesla Life #1. And of course, we want to thank Patrick for helping us out with putting stories in place with the Facebook page. That helps us out each and every week. Thank you, Patrick.
Sure.
Next story is Casey's going to talk about. Was that you, Casey, or did you not do this one?
Yes.
The inside motion detector. What's that about?
So you guys may be familiar with the cabin overheat protection. I believe what happened there was at one of the shareholder meetings, somebody got up either shortly before or after PETA got up, complained about what part of the car had leather in it. And he said, all right, we'll fix it. And the car had less leather in it next time. Somebody went and told a story to Elon, if I'm remembering all this correctly, about how their friend had an unfortunate distraction, lost a child to overheating in the car. And Elon's a very empathic guy, and he did pretty much what he did on when they were asking him about the Australians who had to choose between air conditioning and food. He got a little choked up about it, and I'm picturing him seeing his own children. Should he have made the same distraction? And within, was it a month after the meeting, we had cabin overheat protection where the car just never gets above 104 degrees until it gets down to 20% battery, or if it's been like 3 or 4 days straight. I mean, if you've got the kid for 4 days, they've got other issues there. But it doesn't make it comfortable. It makes it survivable. And it looks like this proposal will make it even more survivable, because now you've got motion detection, and the car will then make sure that small people and small humans and animals are not I'm not a sorry school there are not left in the vehicle. I think it's cool. It's every little bit helps. The whole thing is they want the safest car in the world, and this just adds to that. I heard people asking about, well, what about the camera? And well, the legacy cars don't have a camera, Model S and Model X, and the camera doesn't cover the whole back seat. So if the kid is on the floorboards of the back seat or in the third row of the Model Y when that comes out, it would preclude detection. So
right. Or if they're in a baby seat, where they're facing backwards, the camera's not going to see it. Or if there's a blanket over them, camera's not going to see them. And this is millimeter wave, so it can see through things like a blanket, and it could even detect breathing and heartbeat. So it's going to know if there's something alive in the car and send you an alert to your phone. And if you get that alert and you're like, oh my God, I was supposed to stop at daycare, that could be the difference between your baby living or dying. That's huge.
Yeah, because usually what it is it's not these people are heartless, not that they're scatterbrained or whatever. Literally, they're going about their daily routine, and it's not their normal. You get a call from the boss. It's not your day to take the kid to school, and I need that report in 10 minutes, and they get distracted. They're out of routine. They're shaken. Very few people do this on purpose, and
there are about 50 children a year in the U.S. that die from this, and it's horrible. It's devastating to the parents. The child is dead. The couple often gets divorced afterwards. It's horrible on multiple levels. And
or if it's the caregiver or like a babysitter or a grandparent, it's even
worse.
It's horrible. So this is great news that they are thinking about this and how to improve it, and in ways that other companies aren't even considering. It's great.
On first hearing about it, it reminded me of the Tesla accessory alarm, or the standard security alarm in Europe. That thing is super sensitive. So if they can ramp that up even further, but without the Sentry mode and the disabling the cabin overheat protection part, this is the next step. That's totally the right way to go.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Soli. It's a Google project that uses millimeter wave and to detect hand motions in front of your phone. And the videos they have out for it are incredible. Like you can do this motion to change the volume, and this one for next page, and so you can interact with your device just with hand gestures, and it's all using the same sort of technology, millimeter wave technology. So if Tesla installs this in their cars, instead of voice commands, you might be able to do hand gestures. If someone breaks into your car, you might be able to detect when they're reaching in and sound the alarm from that. And so there's all kinds of potential for this technology. And we talked about was probably the primary use case or one of the most important use cases. But once it's there, let the innovation begin.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Interesting. So we'll have to, we'll certainly be watching for the deployment of this on the first car. But Tesla had to apply for the ability to put it in, I believe. So I'm not sure what agency they had to apply, but it indicated they applied for something.
The FCC.
Okay.
Because it's using antennas.
Right.
I see. Next, guess what's the most satisfying car in with 420,000 Consumer Reports surveyors?
It's the one with romance mode, I'm guessing.
I'm going to guess the U2 Drive one.
So yeah, the Model 3 came out on top as the most satisfying car with a survey of 420,000 people, which is, man, that's quite a cross-section of people. That's almost every Model 3 owner.
They only ask Model 3 owners. I wonder why.
There's just about what 1.2 or so million Teslas on the road, of which maybe 800,000 Model 3s. That's a pretty high honor to be given with that many people being surveyed. But Consumer Reports has done this. They do it yearly. They go in and talk to a large number of car owners, and they prompt them with many questions, not just what's the most satisfying car that you've had or have operated, but over time they have a number of other questions. But Tesla came on top in most satisfying car, specifically the Model 3. So good for them. Another award. The awards just keep on coming. The Model 3, I think, is one of the most awarded cars, certainly in the Tesla fleet, but outside of that, in all cars, it seems to have continuing the trend of winning awards. We saw that in the rollout of the vehicle as it went from country to country or continent to continent. Magazines and other groups just looking at the Model 3, examining it, and giving some of the top awards for some time, and it continues still to do so. So we'll have to see if the next the Model Y, now that it's been released, we'll have to see if it gets those type of awards. If it's going to be on the top of the list as well. I guess that should be starting to play out in front of our eyes very soon, with its wide release now in North America.
Well, Elon told us it's going to be their best-selling product, so.
And that's and we still don't know, do we? Like, really, like the SUV market certainly is much larger than the sedan market. That's proven based on other car sales, but. It's going to be interesting to see that it does the Model Y actually surpass what the Model 3 has done? Does it equal it, or does it not quite get there? It's going to be interesting to see as those sales numbers start to roll in quarter after quarter.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to surpass it, but we'll see. The thing I thought was interesting about this Consumer Reports is that they split it up by a generation, and there's been some speculation that boomers and the silent generation would not go for a Tesla because it has touchscreen, and they grew up with knobs and dials, and if it's not a knob or a dial, it's too much to deal with, and they still have VCRs blinking 12, and that this high-tech stuff will never fly.
Sounds ageist to me.
And yeah, and it's proved, this survey proves that to be very wrong. yes, they didn't grow up with touchscreens, but that doesn't mean they can't adapt to it and love the technology.
Absolutely. And yeah, so that's another interesting part of this particular survey. Next, Casey's going to talk a little bit about a new frunk.
Speaking of the Model Y, we saw that it came with the octovalve and the new heat pump, and little did we know that the Model 3 would be getting it so soon. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
The Model 3 Frunk has been found to have changed. A few weeks ago, they removed the grocery hooks that used to be at the back of the Frunk that covered up the bolts that held, well, some of the bolts that held the Frunk tub in, and they have gone a step further, and it looks more like the one in the Model Y now. It's still smaller because it's got less height, and the speculation abound that it now has room to fit the heat pump and octovalve in the area behind the front tub.
Yeah, so it got a little skinnier, similar to the Model Y. Of course, a different depth.
Yeah,
but it looks very much like the Model Y's tub in dimensions now. The width and the depth, I guess, has changed somewhat, shrinking it.
Yep, and they did it the same way they did with the Model S when the dual motor came out, and then again when the bioweapon defense mode came out. They shrunk the frunk, and then they shrunk it again to something about the size of the Model Y, a little bit bigger, but definitely much smaller than the Model X on the Model S. Have you got photos of that?
I do, I believe.
Cool. So you'll see that they've got the same indentations, the same general shape, and it looks like maybe they might even be able to use the same part of the mold to at least make the well. Or the well shape, I suppose. It's pretty cool.
Now this, of course, is the old
original
trunk. Yeah.
That's what you and Patrick have, right?
Yep. And actually, you talked about the grocery hooks. They came standard with the car when it was first debuted, but a little bit after that, they disappeared.
Yep.
And they were not coming with the car at all. And actually, I heard about a few third-party groups that just designed their own from an existing hook, and they were just selling a couple of hooks that you could put in place yourself. Nice. But I don't have a picture of the other one, but basically what's happened is that the space between the vent up top and the lip of the tub, there's now more space. So this tub's been pushed forward. The back end of this has been pushed forward. The depth is still the same. The shape is still the same, but there's a little bit more space in here. And that, of course, is what's driving the rumors that that leaves space in about this direction or this area for, of course, the heat pump that the Model Y came with.
And then to the left of where your mouse was, so facing the car's right headlight, see that little notch down in the bottom of the front tub? That has gotten larger, and same on the driver's side now as well, which would be the car's left side in the photo here. Yep. And
something's happening for sure.
Something's going on under there. It may not be in there yet. They might be getting ready. That's why I said allegedly when it came to octovalve and heat pump.
And I will add another. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Also, some folks have spotted, at least in China, that there have been all the Model 3 parts are now available in black, as in not chrome, just like the Model Y in China. And so allegedly, those might be making their way worldwide as well. It'd save a lot of people money on wrap, and it would save Tesla the money and time and potential pollution to not have to do that process. So that'd be a welcome change for many, many people.
And there was a rumor going around. We don't have photos of this, but there was a rumor that the Model 3 is getting a power trunk, possibly as well.
Yes. So that has been spotted in I think that was on that same Chinese car. But that one is pretty much confirmed by Elon. I don't know that we can say it's 100% confirmed because he only said that it would be for the disabled.
Disabled, that's right.
Yes. But we've seen Tesla do stuff like this where they do it for one group and they just spread it around the world for efficiency of scaling. So like the Model X, for instance, with the bioweapon defense mode, that was a Chinese selling point. Hey, you don't got to
Right.
wear your mask in the car. And then they said, oh, it's cheaper if we just make this all over the world, and it's only $300 instead of $800 per car. And then
Yeah, and I'm
air
glad they
quality
did.
became very important several times over with fires and pandemics and so
Exactly.
it's a
Exactly.
selling point now.
So we'll watch and see if some of these things come true. Certainly the power trunk will be very easy to spot as soon as someone gets a new car and it has a power trunk. That's going to be pretty darn obvious. Certainly the heat pump is going to require someone to take a little bit the frunk out of place or pull some things out of place to see if it's there. But very, very good. Again, innovation that's moving from one car to another when it's successful. Man, that's fantastic. And again, Tesla, unlike traditional automobiles, will not wait for a model year change. They will make the move when they have the parts available and the process is down so they can actually do it. So it could pop up at any point. And that's something that if you've ordered a Model 3, you've entered into the sweepstakes. You don't know if you're going to get it or not. You could, you might, you will have to see.
Or you might get some and not the others if it's
That's right. That's right.
But
You may only get one. And yeah,
it's like we keep telling you. If you see the car you want, order it now. Because now if you wanted that larger frunk and say the cars with the smaller frunk don't have the heat pump, because that might be a nice trade-off. But say it's just getting ready and you just get the smaller frunk, but none of the other benefits. Man, I wish I ordered a week earlier.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if it has the heat pump and it's like, man, I'm glad I waited a week.
Right. It all depends on what you're using it for. If that makes a difference between your golf clubs fitting in the frunk or not, you're going to be upset, or whatever your needs are. Yeah.
Well, what if you've ordered those party Duracell batteries that fit nicely in the frunk right now that make your car look like it's a battery powered car? So I always thought that was a great marketing thing.
I like those at the auto shows.
Very good. Very good to have those. That's a great thing to have.
There is a cooler that's made to fit the frunk perfectly. They're going to have to redesign that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, on to our next story. Recently, this weekend, I was able to participate in a meetup in Owen Sound, Ontario, which for those who do not know, it's up on Lake Huron in an inlet. And it's a town of about 22,000 people. They have a Tesla charger there. And a group of Tesla owners, 32 of them actually, had decided to go on about a 2-hour drive from different areas of Ontario and all meet in Owen Sound at the same time. So our group left, of course, from Kitchener, where I hail from. There was a group from London and a group from Toronto that went. We met up with the London crew because they were going along our route, and then we went into Owen Sound together. And I took a little video that I will share here. Let's see if we can get this to be full screen. There we go. So this Tesla supercharger was at a Walmart location. And of course, the vast majority, Model 3s, no surprise there, a spattering of S's and X's, and about 3 Ys showed up.
Any roadsters?
Cool.
No roadsters.
Those
no
are
roadsters
rare sense, Steve.
There's that blue wrap, very nice looking in person.
Indeed.
And,
saw one on a Land Rover the other day. It was chrome blue like that.
Yep, that chrome blue.
Eye-catching.
Really
Chrome delete Model 3, nice. Or was that a Y?
That could have been a Y. There was a you don't
That's
quite see it. So that must have been a 3 because there was a red Y there, but it was a great day. Fantastic weather. And certainly all had a great time. Of course, social distancing, masks, Even though it was an outdoor event, everyone tried to be safe. And certainly in Ontario, we have not been stricken as badly as some other regions of the country. And we were able to have a safe visit. And it was great to see people that we haven't seen now in, man, almost a year. Because of what has happened with COVID starting in the spring, things really got tightened down, and these type of events really stopped until recently. So,
Pretty cool.
yeah, fun time. Next, hey, and this is kind of relevant too. Rich Rebuilds finished his actual CyberQuad build, which of course was his ongoing project that took some time because Rich ran into a few problems with it that he outlines in his video. Where I think he pooched an entire battery pack at one point. Two, okay, and he saw some sparks, and you heard a oops, and that was it. One of the packs was done. But he, of course, was using zero motorcycle parts, drivetrain, the motor itself, the battery pack, the cabling. He was able to fit it into. I think it was a Kawasaki? No, or a Yamaha. It was a Yamaha, I believe, quad that was all the internal guts of the gasoline motor were taken out and replaced with this stuff. And of course, he did a lot of customization as to where the motor fit and how the battery pack got in there. But in the end, and you can see this with the link that we have, he had a vehicle that could go 100 miles an hour on a quad. Certainly, I wouldn't recommend doing anywhere near that. Even half of that would be scary for me. But this particular vehicle with different gearing would get up to 102 miles an hour, something crazy on a flat surface with street tires. And it's it's a great video to watch. All that he did, the information and the money, the amount of money he outlines what he spent on what, and he spent quite a bit of money on this particular unit before it was all said and done. And another reason I brought it up for this story is that if you're not aware on What Drives Us, which happens after this show later tonight, if you haven't subscribed there, get there now so you can be alerted about the show start. But Rich Rebuilds is going to be the special guest on What Drives Us. So certainly if you're a fan, tune in and hear what Rich has to say later tonight.
And then watch the show, because it was a fun episode, and he put a lot of work into it.
Absolutely.
They looked like they had a blast. They were just hoot dog in that first quad.
Man, talk about risking life and limb, like zipping down the road at 100 miles an hour. That's
102, 106. Yeah,
crazy talk.
You hit a bump and you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
And then that flying off. There's some road rash
using
there. 2
of the possible gearings that he had. He had a third gearing that they didn't even show.
Yeah, because at that point he was levitating, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Get over 100.
Much of a daredevil to try it out.
And just the sheet metal in that thing would make it take off. The airfoil.
They go past a stealth fighter.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Do not. Next story.
I would say try it even less likely. Try it even less than you would before you would take stock advice from us.
Yeah, that's even further down the list. Absolutely. Yeah. Casey's got something about Model Y and taillights. What's going on there?
Do. So one of my favorite features of the Model X is that the taillights, they're not always red all the time, like on the Model S and the Model 3 and older Model Ys. So newer Model Ys are starting to come with the dual element amber and red. So when you turn your hazards or your blinkers, they will glow in a nice amber instead of the ambiguous red. You'll know what's going on. Adds safety, and also is required in Europe. So now they can have one part worldwide, which is cool.
That makes sense. The reducing number of parts And of course, the Model Y is slated to go to Europe. But
real soon.
why? My question would be, why was that not done on the Model 3?
That's the other thing they allege is that the Model 3 will be having it next because they share so many parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we haven't caught that out in the wild yet, so that is at this point allegations and speculation, allegedly.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
it
now
makes sense.
Yeah. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah. So have both amber and red in there, and then whatever jurisdiction you're in, whatever their regulations are, you could have software that can run it in that mode, and that then you don't have to worry. The only thing that would change then is localizing the software versus changing parts for, oh no, they need red here, they need amber there, it has to blink like this here and it has to blink like that there. Now it can all just be a software delta.
Or they could just do like Model X and just use the same one worldwide. So on the North American Model X, you still get rear fog lights. They're symmetrical instead of just off to one side like some of the German cars, and you get amber turn signals and amber four-way flashers. So you get that added safety benefit, even though you live in the U.S. and Canada, Mexico, where they're allowed to and do for some reason flip back to red for all the other cars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also curious where they'll put the rear fog light on the Model Y. I'm guessing it'll be like ours, where it's just a segment of that brake light just lights up a little bright for the rear fog.
Yeah, and that's something I don't know if you guys have noticed looking at your Model 3 or a Model 3 you know of, is that single line on the tail light, it looks so thin and so tiny when of course it's being used in daylight, but at night it really lights up. Like when I got the car initially, I was thinking, man, why didn't they at least double this up or make it a little bit of a thicker? But it really comes through once the sun starts to set. In daylight, like any other light, it gets diffused and it's not as bright. Certainly still viewable, and by all safety specs it is. But very unique feature of the Model 3 is that single thin line that they had used previously for a brake light, now a turn signal, that will be amber.
Yep, and speaking of diffusion, so the little red ring around the outside, that would typically be the running lights. That color has changed. It's now a deeper red, which has been speculated that it will give a more consistent and appealing red color at night. And it's not on the article that we're using here to report to you, but there has also been spotted a change to the headlights on some Model 3, the same Model 3 that first brought this news to us. We don't know the story about that. Is that a test car? Is it a one-off? It looks a lot like it's only the outer segment. It looks a lot like the Taycan headlight, but just one of those little modules instead of four of them. We'll see what happens with that as well. But I didn't find it too attractive.
Interesting. On another interesting topic, of course, we covered this previously on the show, was that Unplugged Performance was taking a Model 3, stripping it out and producing a number of modifications to make the car faster and actually participate in a Pikes Peak competition. And this same car made its way to racetracks, made its way to the Bonneville Salt Flats. It did a number of different things in preparation, tuning the car, making sure it was ready for the Pikes Peak run. And unfortunately, the Pikes Peak run qualifier had begun, and this car kind of went off-road. Maybe got a little bit of air. And we have some photos from the Unplugged performance that we will share here with you. And yeah, that does not look like the right position to be in a qualifying race.
No.
This definitely has got some air, went off-road. Now, you can even see in this photo that the tail has broken off in the air. And I'm happy to report that the driver's fine.
Yes,
the driver was unhurt and checked out by medical staff on site. But the car, of course, as you can see it, the front end biting into the dirt here, you knew there was going to be some problems structurally with the car after the front end started to collapse like that.
Yes.
And spun around, parts of flying. Looks like the back bumper blew off as it went up that hill and finally came to a rest.
They
But,
managed to avoid the gorge.
did
would've
not
been a much
did not
different
go
story.
off the gorge. Exactly. That is certainly a plus for the driver for sure. But too bad. This has prematurely ended their run at Pikes Peak because the cars obviously is going to require some mechanical assistance to get it back to racing form.
But the driver's safe. Metal can be repaired or replaced, and we could try again next year.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. So it's unlikely they're going to be able to get the car fixed in time for this weekend, when I think is the official event, which is too bad. They've been putting a lot of time and effort getting ready for this, and now they're going to miss out. But like you said, at least nobody was hurt, because that part of the turn, there's a spot there called the bottomless pit, and you didn't want to fall into that. That's not the way to go.
That does not sound like the right place to turn off the road. Yes.
No.
They don't have a spare, do they? Spare car?
No, they had one car only. Yeah.
There are 2 other Model 3s I saw on the list, but I don't think that they were anywhere near as kitted out. They were just regular owner cars, not something like this.
One of them crashed on the first day. So
there's only one left?
Yeah, so there's one. Yeah, there were 3 Tesla Model 3s in there, and now there's one left.
So were they both the performance ones that crashed, or was one the regular one that crashed?
I don't know the details on those.
Okay. Well, there were 2 performance. One was heavily modified, one was performance, and then one, it didn't say what it was. It just said Model 3 on the registration.
That's my car. That's
your car.
Yeah, we're good so far. Yeah. I just entered my daily driver, and I'm just hoping for the best. Yeah.
Some fresh tires and brakes.
I'm not even doing any qualifying after seeing this. I'm just going to go straight for the race.
Just do it at 10 miles an hour to be safe.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, I didn't get the record, but did you see my efficiency?
Yes, look at my fuel efficiency. Most fuel efficient bike run ever. And that was my goal. I'm playing a whole different game than you guys, and I won.
Exactly. Yeah, and I won, hands down. Absolutely.
But the amazing thing is that these cars are competing with straight up race cars, open wheel, purpose built race cars, and they're holding their own. So that's pretty cool to see. I think they were in 4th, 5th, and 6th place or something like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
On one of Russell's prediction shows just after the new year several years ago, that was one of my predictions, is that all the records, Pikes Peak, anything that can be done in less than 1 charging distance will be dominated by EVs, and it's coming true.
Yep. Yeah. Drifting, racing, it's all things that EVs excel at. Like you said, within the range of the battery is key, but in those ranges, they are definitely dominating.
Yep.
Well, with that, we want to thank you for watching this week. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. Please give us a subscribe. You could be number 3,000. Or 3001 or 3002. And no, it doesn't count if you unsubscribe and then subscribe. That does not count. So we need new subscribers, but certainly we want to thank our old subscribers that got us to this place already. And thank you very much for watching and tuning us in every week.
Bring a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Bring another friend. Sign your dog up. Sign your cat up. But we want to also thank Lee Moon for the music that we use every week. And with that, let's turn it over to Patrick for some parting words.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, and I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and we have a National Drive Electric Week event coming up in October. And it's going to be online because, face-to-face has got some viral problems right now. So you can hang out with us and come and ask questions from people that drive all sorts of various EVs for their daily drivers, and If you're EV curious, that's the place to go. If you already have a Tesla, hey, you're good. But you could still come hang out. It'd be fun.
Fantastic. I look forward to that. Mr. Green, what have you got to say this week?
Well, I've got all kinds of videos on YouTube at youtube.com/Casey Green. That's Kacey Green. And very popular this week for some reason was my video where I summoned the car from the U-Haul building to the U-Haul trailer. And it was shot in vertical video because it was on my wife's phone. But it was pretty fun. The guy was surprised, and I don't know why it just took off. And
Cool.
you may have seen it. If not
the
take a
car, the video, right?
look. The video, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Definitely hit a bump
surprised
like
it
that
just
Pikes
took
Peak.
off. Like that could be taken in a number of ways, Casey.
Oh,
My
indeed.
video unintendedly accelerated.
It did. It was just a little fun throwaway. I put it up there, and then it did very well. But the most recently was the gasless station, as Patrick has coined the name of the video. Take a look at that, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Very good, very good. Well, with that, we'll roll the credit music, and we will see you next week to find out what's going on in the Tesla life. Good night, everybody.
Stay safe, stay sharp.
Wash your hands.